What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. And maybe you could have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Speaking of entertainment, today on the program, I have entertainer extraordinaire, Ryan Hinman. Yeah, he's a guitarist. Yeah, he's a bassist. Yeah, he plays a lot of different instruments. I think he played trombone back in the day. But now he's taken up to helping other people gig with Hinman Booking. And we're going to talk to him and find out what that's all about in the next few minutes. So stick around. Ryan Hinman. I haven't talked to him on the podcast since 2019. What? This week's shows, let's see. Oh, I will be at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam on Friday night. That's my usual Friday night gig. You could find me there at least 48, 49 Fridays out of the year. Every once in a while, I get a Friday that I have to do something else. But for the most part, you could find me at the Rab. So if you're really trying to stalk me, if you're trying to find me, you could always find me at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas on Friday night from 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM for the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. Ooh, I just rhymed that. Ooh, I didn't even mean to do that. They got a full bar. The kitchen's open. They got some good food. The more you eat, the more you can drink. It's not me. It's science. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. I said it. They got 10 diamond-style professional pool tables. I'm not even sure what that is, but it sounds pretty good. They have a pool tournament on Friday nights. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're waiting to sing on stage right next to yours truly, come on out to the Rab, Conway, Arkansas. The pool tournament, I think they start warming up around 7 o'clock, but I'm all set up by 8 o'clock on Friday night. So very excited about that. Let's see. Ooh, and then on Saturday, about once or twice a month, I'm over at the Choctaw VFW on Saturday night. Yeah, from 8 p.m. until about 12:30 in the AM. They got the full bar. They got some good bar snacks. They got pool tables and a big, giant dance floor. They got a giant room. It's a VFW. My goodness. And the stage is yours, at least for a few minutes at a time. The Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam at the VFW, Choctaw, Arkansas, Choctaw VFW. So if you're out there in Clinton or Greenbrier or any place north of Clinton, like I guess Fairfield Bay, anywhere, come on down to the Choctaw VFW. Saturday night, always a good time. Good people, good fun. So excited. 2 public shows this week. Yeah, I'm stoked. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited as well. Last Saturday night, I gotta say it. I gotta brag. I was at the governor's mansion partying with Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Well, not just her. It was her house. Okay, she's the resident right now, but it was a wedding for Jeff and his Sarah. Yeah, Jeff and Sarah got married. Not the governor, but Jeff and his Sarah got married. So it was a great wedding, great time, and the governor, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, introduced them, and she didn't just introduce them. She stayed. She hung out. She did some dancing. She came by and she helped me DJ. She picked out a few songs and said, hey, can you play this? We were supposed to end at a certain time. And she came over and said, hey, can you play about 3 or 4 more songs? Oh, we were supposed to end about this time. Don't worry. I live here. And I went, ooh, the resident. She wants to keep the party going. And everybody screamed, man. We were supposed to end now, but the resident wants to keep the party going. And everybody had it. Yeah. So good. Such a good time. I figured out she's a real nice lady. She's a real nice lady. You may like her policies or not, but she's a real nice lady. She's trying to do good for the people. Just like any other politician, there's a lot of pressure. So she's doing the best job she can with the tools she's got. Okay. Did I expect this to be political? No. I had a great time at the governor's mansion. I'll say it again, at the Arkansas governor's mansion. What a room. It's a great room, man. I want to be there like every week, every day. I want to move in. Guess I got to run for governor. No, I did not just throw my hat in the ring. All right, that's enough intro. Let's get into it with Ryan Hinman. It's been since 2019 since I had him on the podcast. Let's find out what Ryan Hinman's doing now. I got him on Skype. And if you're listening to the audio version of this, check out the video version on my YouTube, youtube.com/user/KeysDAN. Skyping Ryan Hinman now.
Hello.
Kilroy was here. Oh, okay. All right. He's getting all centered up. Looking good.
Well, thank you.
Ryan Hinman in the house. Hey, man. Good to see your face.
You doing, my brother?
I rarely get to go out and see bands play, see some of the local bands. I know I always tell my loyal listener, whenever you're in your town, go and support your local bands. But sadly, I don't get a lot of Saturday nights off, and that's usually when the big shoes are going. But thankfully, I did have a Saturday night off, and I got to go see the Tina Cossey band over at King's Live Music in Conway, Arkansas. And who was providing the rhythm section, the guitar man himself, Mr. Ryan Hinman. Man, always good to see your smiling face. And I guess beyond that, every once in a while I'm strolling through town, I'll see you, having some lunch, having some dinner, hanging with some friends. I see that smiling face again, and I go, man, you light up the room. Ryan Hinman, do I have a little bit of a man crush? Maybe.
Oh, man.
I can't confirm or deny, but I do like seeing that face, man. It's good to have that face in front of me right now. So,
oh, man, it's good to be on the show.
Man, last time we talked, it was like 2019. Well, I don't even have to say like 2019. I'm looking at it right here. 3/10/2019, March 10th. That was my first really full iteration of the What Makes You Famous podcast. And so much has changed since then, but so much has stayed the same because, we did the podcast over at Palmer Music in Conway, Arkansas, where you work. But I think was it the same Palmer Music, or was it the old store before it moved? I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah. It was definitely the old one on Oak Street back then. Yeah. After we took over Jack's Music, and I think it was maybe a Sunday afternoon. No one was there. It was just the two of us. We set up and had a really great time, great conversation. Spent about an hour talking about music and all sorts of things.
Well, I encourage my loyal listener to go back and listen to that podcast from 3/19, Ryan Hinman. Now, you're my man from Texas. We talked about that. The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. But you've made your way to Arkansas. And over those past, 4 years at least, you've been working at Palmer Music in the back, putting the finishing touches on musical instruments, making sure that their instruments are strung up right, working right, looking good. I mean, part of the show business is the show, making sure that your equipment is tip top, looking right, sounding right. I mean, tell me about how that's evolved. The working in the what is it? The instrument fixing section of Palmer Music.
Yeah, man. So a lot has actually changed. I don't know if you were aware of this, but August of 2020, when COVID was, still a big thing, because it's still a thing, unfortunately. But I actually took my leave from Palmer Music for about 2.5 years, and kind of went off and did some other things. And then December of 2022, I came back. And so, yeah, man, it's just been kind of an uphill battle, but also a downhill ride at the same time ever since then. I've taken over the repair shop. I've formed my own LLC, which is Hinman Music Works LLC. I'm doing all the repairs at Palmer Music with the help of Bear, or Brandon Alanis, as some of you may know him. So we're kind of tag teaming all of those things there. We've got things down pretty much to a science, as much as you can with guitar repair. And I found myself in this peculiar position where I just feel like I know a lot of musicians that are looking for places to play. And I'm also friends with some people that have venues with a stage that are looking for musicians to play. And so I got this crazy idea. Why don't I try and help hook these people up and make a legitimate business out of it? And so here we are now. I see it on your screen here, Hinman Booking. I've got my own business under Hinman Music Works LLC. I have Hinman Booking LLC. And so it's technically separate from the guitar repair that I do at Palmer Music. So if you guys are looking for booking services, please don't call Palmer Music. Hit me up individually, and I would love to I would love to handle your booking needs and provide services in that aspect, in that area of things.
Oh, they're going to have to get to your own line over at the at Palmer Music, because this is going to about to blow up. Musicians want nothing more than to play. You know, you learn how to play. You get in front of people. That first time that people are screaming your name and clapping for something that you played, even if you're playing something that came from the 90s. I think the first time, well, I don't have to think. The first time I heard you play over at the Black Art Studio was do 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 do. Oh, I love it. But you were talking about, man, you're prophetic, because when you were on the last podcast, you said, I'm thinking about taking a sabbatical, thinking about taking some time off and going and doing a tour. Was that the Skyfire or Skyrim? What was the name of that band you were with?
Skyrim, awesome name. It was Skies and Fire. And man, we really were starting to take off. I had a great group of guys together, had a great bass player, great drummer, great everything, really. And we had all of our music tight. We were ready to start playing. We had a few shows booked, and that was right at the beginning of 2020. And then COVID hit and everything got canceled.
Yeah.
So we ended up having no shows. A couple of the places we were booked to play at actually ended up closing down permanently or just completely moving. Yeah. And a couple of the guys ended up moving off, doing some different things. And so I never ended up getting that particular group back together. I have tried getting a group together again, but, circumstances have just kind of told me right now, I think I'm going to put that on the back burner. Skies and Fire is still a thing, but I really wanted to pursue this endeavor with helping bands get connected with the right stage, with the right venues, helping venues find the right musicians for their clientele. And it's just kind of evolved into that. I'm really, really into this whole booking agency as it is at the moment. There's nothing like it that I know of in the state of Arkansas, Dan. I mean, there's just nothing like it. We've got a lot of freelance booking agents and people that are doing kind of things under the table or for cash. And Hinman Booking is just not that way. We're, like I said, we're an LLC. We're a legitimate business. We do everything by the book. And we want to really revolutionize the way that bands and venues get connected with each other. And we kind of want to sort of form some protections on both sides of things so that bands, make sure that they get paid and they get booked again and again. And venues are also getting hooked up with people that are reputable and responsible. So being on the other end of that, being a musician who has played for some of these places, I've just kind of experienced some of those troubles and what kind of a hectic ordeal it is to try and book your own shows, to deal with venue owners or operators, managers, other booking agents, and just tending to get the short end of the stick. That being said, I've also seen how venues, owners and operators can also get burnt Somebody comes in and they're very unprofessional, or they say things on stage that are wholly inappropriate, and we just kind of want to change the game up a little bit and make it better and safer for everyone.
Well, you know what you're saying. This is primarily a learning podcast, and the business side of it, you are offering up protections for yourself. I started DJing back in 1986. That's the first time I got paid for a gig, $50 for a wedding, and I rented the equipment from a music store similar to yours for about $75. So I lost money, but it was a great experience. But I did not get incorporated until 2004. Dummy. I'm such a dummy. I should have gotten incorporated, because what that offers, businesses, the ability for someone not to pay Daniel Gilson, but to pay KeysDAN Incorporated, KeysDAN Enterprises Incorporated. And you have protection there. Plus, when you get your taxes done, you can offset your personal taxes with your corporate taxes and get that much more back. I don't know if you knew this, but, sometimes politically, they're not out for the little man. Once you get to the federal level or the higher levels, they're not out for the little man. They protect the corporations. And even a small corporation gets offered some protection over a sole person. So you did a great thing by incorporating yourself, getting yourself an LLC, getting some kind of protection. That's great. And if a venue hires a band through Hinman Booking, because you have a stable of musicians that are ready, on the go, professional, ready for any type of gig, certain types of gigs, even if a band gets booked on Saturday night and Saturday morning, 3 of the band members get stomach aches and cannot make it to the show, that venue can call Hinman Booking, and Hinman Booking is probably going to have a suitable replacement ready to go. And that's another advantage of being in a stable. I remember, I was DJing down in Miami, and I was on my own for quite a bit, as you do. You always try to do everything by yourself. But then I got in with some agencies, not just one. There was one in West Palm Beach, one in Fort Lauderdale, one in the Florida Keys, and they were all booking me, making a little percentage. Okay, yeah, you got your little 10%, but I was getting booked daily, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the Monday through Thursday gigs that musicians covet, the Sunday gigs. Sometimes you only work Friday and Saturday night. You can't make your rent payment on 2 nights a week. But Ryan Hinman Booking, can help you get that Monday night show. Get you a couple bucks. Don't you think?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And you hit the nail on the head there, Dan, about just doing the right thing. It's all a learning experience. I would really encourage people to ask questions repeatedly. Ask the same question to multiple people. Don't just ask your best friend. I'm not saying don't ask your best friend. Your best friend's going to give you the best advice, in the sense that they care about you, but they're not going to give you the best advice in the business unless they really know the business. And even if they do, get a second and a third and a fourth opinion. Just keep asking questions. You're always in the game to learn more and more about what you need to do, the right way to do things. And the way that I ended up deciding how to do Hinman Booking and forming this business and running it the way that I'm running it is because I kept asking questions, and I ended up formulating what I felt like was the best way to set up this business that was going to protect not only myself, but also the venues and the artists, musicians, bands, all of those people, etc. And so it's really a learning experience, but you don't want to be afraid to fail. You want to jump into something and just get into it before you take so much time. Because I'll tell you, as I was forming this LLC, Dan, I was not ready to just start booking bands right out the gate. But someone put a challenge to me and said, I need you to do this and this for me, and then I've got work for you to do. And the more questions I asked, the more questions I had, And I realized more and more I have work to do. I have a lot of work to do. Now, can I go ahead and start booking bands for venues, for shows? Absolutely. But can I still improve on my process and get this business to where it's essentially running itself so smoothly so that all I have to do is just a text back here, an email back here, and boom, it's all ready to go. And that's the point that we want to try and get to. As musicians, as venue owners, as business owners, we want to ask questions, learn as much as we can. Don't be afraid to take that leap to get into it, dive deep, but also try to know as much as you can going in, but don't try to know everything, or else you'll never, ever begin in the first place.
Yeah, you won't know. Yeah,
where I ended up going to do it.
Yeah, you won't know everything, but I remember in 2000, well, even before I got incorporated, I was trying my hand at agency, and it takes a lot of organization. And I remember I was doing weddings, and I would get the bounce houses, tables, chairs. I would get steel drummers, a guitarist, fire walkers, Hawaiian dancers, cowboys, line dancers. For bar mitzvahs. Oh my goodness, what a production for, big giant weddings in South Florida, the Florida Keys. I mean, you watch a lot of these television shows about people spending hundreds, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 on their weddings. Well, I was part of a couple of those, to where I would help them to get the tents and the lighting and booking that kind of thing. It took a lot of organization. Booking bands, you are about to help these bands get to the next level. Yes, on your own, you could probably get a couple of gigs a month, maybe 4, maybe every Friday. I'm booked at the Rab every Friday night. Shameless plug. I'm there every Friday night. And it took me and even and Brock, Forness of All About Entertainment. He had this gig he couldn't do. He said, "Hey, can you handle this one?" No problem. I got it every Friday night. He's got it on Saturday night. And then if he can't make it, he calls me. And if I don't have a wedding or a party, it's nice to work well with others. And Ryan Hinman, you're showing people, you're telling people that you don't have to step on each other to get higher in this business. We need to be helping each other. One of my favorite places to be or things to do, which I haven't done in a while, is go over to TC's in Conway, Arkansas on a Sunday night and check out the Blues Jam. This is band members from different bands getting together. There's a drummer from that band, a guitarist from that band, a singer from a totally different band. And they're all getting together, jamming, loving, showing each other different licks. Oh, this is something new. This is how bands help each other. And you being a seasoned musician, you want to help bands get to that next level, get them some more shows. Tell me about the venues that you're working with. I mean, tell me what if a band does call you, and I encourage them to call you, find you at Hinman Booking on Facebook. Now that you've made a new Facebook, you have the Ryan Hinman Facebook that I put in the show notes. But then there's the Hinman Booking Facebook that has a really nice artsy picture of you on the header. Kind of cool. I'm probably going to use that as the cover for the podcast. But then you're also on Instagram. You're not huge on social media like like some people think you need to be. You've really broken it down to, and I think we talked about this before, Instagram. You post a little bit more than any place else, and maybe some Facebook so people can connect with you. And I guess you've the Twitter, formerly X. I can't call it X anymore. I'm going to dead name it. You're not even on Twitter. You formed a Twitter and you said, I don't even know where it's at. I couldn't find it.
I hear you. Yeah, social media is not necessarily my forte. I am trying to break off more into the Facebook realm with my Hinman Booking page. Instagram, I've kind of taken a step back from. There's a lot of content on there that it's just not quite desirable. But I do need to get my business a little more public on there. I've been always using that more for the guitar repair side of things, as you've probably noticed. There's a lot of pictures of guitars and bone nuts and saddles and some wiring that I've done. Not super active on there, but it would behoove me to get a little bit more on there. Facebook is a little bit better on the business side of things for reaching out, connecting, and kind of keeping track with your traffic, the people that are following you, the people that you're following, finding new bands, new talent, new venues. That's what I've been using the most. So if you do want to contact me and have some booking done, you can contact me on Facebook at Hinman Booking, or email me at hinmanbooking@gmail.com. We do have a website that is being worked on right now. It's taking a little bit longer than we originally, but I'm totally okay with that because I've been in touch with the guy that's been making it for me, and he is making it amazing. I mean, it's going to be great. It's going to be so good that you can go on there, and if you are a solo act or an artist of any kind, have a band, you can go in there and put in your own information, make your own profile, and your profile will then be input into the database of the website, and I can go in on the back end and look at that, and I'll have all the information I need to go ahead and start booking your band for venues, for shows, for festivals, special events, weddings, that sort of thing. And you'll have all the ability to go in and change any kind of information. If you have a band member change, or you want to increase your price, if you've been playing around for a little while, you will have the ability to go into your own profile on my website to change those details. And of course, before booking with you, I will reach out to you and make contact with you directly. It's not all going to be some sort of automated, impersonal type of thing. But yeah, as far as the type of venues that we're booking with, Dan, we're looking to get not only around Central Arkansas, but all over the state of Arkansas. I've been to Texarkana recently on the Texas side, because that's where I'm originally from, so I can go stay with family and spend some time with them as well. But I've been doing some networking around there with some different venues. I'm also working with some event coordinators here in Conway, that do all sorts of events. So, for instance, there was an event at the Brick Room not too long ago that I got the Tina Costi band booked for. That was a very huge success. That was really awesome. I am looking at the prospect of putting together Conway's first and only so far music festival, not just a festival like Toadsuck, because Toadsuck is awesome, but a music festival. And so I'm going to start doing a little planning on some of that here real soon, and get with one of these event coordinators and see what we can do to make that happen. Get with a production company that I've made contact with and have them for the stage and the sound equipment, all that jazz. So really big, exciting things happening here with Hinman Booking around music, with music around Central Arkansas right now. Is seriously, if you have a band and you want to get more places, more shows, absolutely, like he said, we're not stepping on anybody's toes, Dan. If you want to book some of your own shows, but you also want to use Hinman Booking to find you some other stuff, some fresh new places, maybe even some venues that you can't get into without having a booking agent, that's what we're here for. We are not exclusive, so you can use a separate booking agent. Sometimes there's even multiple booking agents involved in the process. And that is A-okay with me. We don't have any kind of commitment to us like that. Our end goal is that we do our job so well that you won't want to book your own shows anymore. And also we get a lot of questions about how do we pay you? What is the percentage? There's not a percentage. There's not a set rate. The way it works is that there's the kicker. Hinman Booking works out the negotiation of price between you and the venue that you're playing in. And so you say you want to get paid $1,000, and then I go to the venue and I say, what is your budget? And they give us their budget. And so then we kind of play with that somewhere in between. Now, the venue will pay us directly, and then we will pay you, the band or the artist. And so we take our cut somewhere in between there. And so you don't really have to worry about paying us anything. We're taking it in the middle. And you get paid what you ask, what you require. And we're going to try and get you the best rates possible. We'll get you your minimum absolutely guaranteed, or we won't be able to book you, at that venue. That's just how that's going to work. If they can't pay what you're requiring, then they can't get your service. It's the same way if you have somebody come to fix the plumbing in your house. If they're charging more than you can afford, then they just won't be doing the work for you. You'll have to find someone cheaper. And that's basically how that's going to work. But we're not stepping on anybody's toes, Dan. We are all about camaraderie. We're all about protections, making sure the venue gets the best experience from the band gets the best experience for the venue. And most of all, those people out in the audience that don't know anything about music, or maybe they do, but they're just there to listen and enjoy and have a good time. We want them to be safe and have a good time. There's some of these places that are supposed to be family friendly and they've had content on stage. It's not. And, we want to make sure that is all sorted out before the game ever gets planned in the first place.
Well, Ryan Hinman, one of the most exciting things is this website. I've been working on my website since 1997. Now, back then when it first started, it was GIFs of dancing babies and disco balls and a lot of words that would go, KeysDAN Enterprises, KeysDAN Entertainment, DJ services. And it was all these things that were spinning around. And I've revamped it a lot since then. But one of the main things is being able to book online, being able to get a quote. Sometimes one of the most awkward things for a bride, a groom, a venue to do is to say how much you cost. They didn't even, they know your name. Hi, Ryan Hinman, is it? How much it cost? And that's it. I'm a price. Cha-cha-ching. That's it. And you got no more information. You give them a price, $1,000, like you using what you said, $1,000. They have that to mull over. KeysDAN, $1,000. That's all they know. Okay, Ryan Hinman, $1,000. That's all they know. But if you have this booking system, you get the name, you get the address, you get an idea. Oh, how many hours? Where's it going to be? What's the venue? Is it upstairs, downstairs? How much equipment do I need? Do I need some big speakers, or can I do it with just one speaker? All this can be put into your little website, bing, boom, boom, in the comment section. If they have any more information, boom, right there. And now that as Hinman Booking, you know exactly what this event needs, what it requires. And you could pick out of your stable of musicians, of entertainers, not just musicians. I imagine you'll be good for all kinds of entertainers, jugglers, balloon artists, anybody who wants to get booked at a venue. I'm making Hinman Booking bigger than just bands and solos.
I've definitely considered all that. Considered all that. My main focus obviously is going to be on music, but I'm not discounting comedy or actual, visual art, performing art such as interpretive dance or anything of the sort. Anything. If somebody needs some booking and I know where to look, I'm going to look under every rock and every nook and cranny until I find something. I'll do my darndest to find whatever talent is being sought after. Of course, back to the music, we really are focusing on that. That is my forte. But we're not really limiting ourselves to what we can do in the future. We are even looking at possibly doing marketing for bands, Facebook, social media management, that sort of thing. Now that's definitely a future enterprise. That's a future prospect. We're not doing that right now. We're offering those services, but I would like to. And so the more interest we see in that, definitely the more it's going to push us faster towards actually doing it. But, man, Dan, you already asked a bunch of the questions that, as I've been in bands in the past, the people booking the shows for our band that I've been in, when I wasn't responsible for it myself, failed to ask so many of these questions, like, how many speakers do I need? Are we getting free food, or are we getting free drinks? Is it half off? What is the bar tab like? What time do we need to be there and load in? What time is sound check? Is there a sound guy? Is there sound equipment already?
Mm-hmm.
How big is the stage? What if we have a 6-piece band and it's a tiny stage that only accommodates 3? I've encountered that more times than I would like to admit. Yeah. And that's what we want to eliminate. We want to ask those kind of questions for you, for the band, and get that information to you the day that event is booked.
Yeah, all this affects the price. Yeah, all this affects the price. If there's a sound system already built into the club, and all I have to do is bring in my turntables and my digital wheels of steel and my computer and a couple of microphones, or if they already have the microphones, that affects the price. If my setup time is 15 minutes and I don't have to carry a lot of equipment, I'm going to be a little more lenient on the price because I have that advantage, of being the sole proprietor. Now, if I'm working with somebody, hey, there has to be a price set. Now, I don't want to. That's another thing is you talked about people going into your website and maybe raising the prices a little bit. I don't want people to get scared about that, but there's an industry standard that needs to be upheld. And, there's sometimes you'll be booked at a venue and someone will come in. There are those people that'll come in and say, how much he charging you? I'll do it for $50 less. How about that? And they will come in and try to get your weekly gig, just undercut you. But that's not the industry standard. That's not the way to do business. If everybody's charging one price, then everybody knows that's the price for that level of entertainment, and that's the industry standard. That's the business side of the show business. The show, it's good. You work on that. I'm seeing a lot of nice guitars. Anybody that's listening to the audio version of this, check out the video version on my YouTube because you'll see all these guitars. He's got the gear, and it all looks beautiful. He's got it set up right. Okay, it gives you that show. But then the business side. You got incorporated. You're negotiating the pay. How do you get paid? Is there a PayPal account? Is there a Cash App? I don't know which one of these. I'm a PayPal snob, but I had to get Cash App because a few people have asked me for a Cash App. I mean, are you a Venmo guy? What is your best method of payment?
I'm honestly a Venmo guy. I do have Cash App. I haven't yet been able to finish getting my business account set up on Cash App. I'm apparently pending approval of some sort. I'm going to have to go back and check on that. It's been a week or so since I initiated that process. Venmo did it for me immediately. And so I am currently set up to take Venmo payments for my business and for it to go directly to my business bank account. But I was Venmo even well before that, and I only got Cash App, honestly, when I joined the Tina Cossey band, and everybody else said, we all have Cash App. That just makes it easier for us. And I said, okay, then I guess I'll just get Cash App.
Well, oddly enough, Cash App had me as a business account, and today they started questioning me. They said, hey, set this up, and I put down that I'm a corporation. I'm incorporated. I'm not an LLC. I'm incorporated. And they said, "Oh, we don't do that type of business. You're going to have to bust down to a solo account." So I'm kind of working with that going, I was a business account for the past year that I've had this Cash App thing. When corporations start changing things, and don't get me started about X. Elon Musk, you've ruined Twitter. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that outburst. I'm so sorry, Ryan Hinman. You don't need that kind of pressure on this Hinman booking podcast. But come on, Elon. All right.
Man, I wouldn't really have much of an opinion on that except the name change. The name change for that was, I didn't really get that, to be honest.
Well, as a businessman, you have that Twitter has been the name and it's name recognition. Hey, tweet at me, okay? I'm not going to tell somebody to X at me. So he lost a lot of that name recognition, and I think there was another word for it where it's like branding, and it's you got the power of that branding, and Ryan Hinman, that's a household name, or if not yet, it will be. Hinman Booking, that's going to be side by side. Oh, Hinman Booking, that's Ryan Hinman's thing. Yes. I want that to be a household name. You've already got a logo for it. Who designed this cool logo for Hinman Booking?
So that one is actually a temporary logo that we have up. Are you looking at the one on our Facebook page?
The purple one, yeah.
Yeah, so that one was done by Josh Parks, who is the guitar player for the Tina Kasi band. He did that for me on a whim. Great guy. He did it very quickly for me. I said, hey, I've got to get my Facebook page set up today. I need some images. He did that, and he did the cover photo, which, if you notice, the background. I did think it was funny that you noticed that was me in the picture. I wanted it to be a little vague that it was me in the picture. If you know, you know, but if you don't, you wouldn't recognize it. But the background of it is actually from a Whitesnake album. That was his idea. And he took out their main logo and flipped, like mirror image the Whitesnake background from their album, and I thought that was kind of creative that he did that. As far as a more permanent logo, I actually am about to seek out someone to make a new logo for me, one that's going to stick around. I've kind of had some ideas. I thought about maybe making it a social media competition, see if people want to post their ideas of a logo, and we'll vote on it with likes and other reactions, or if I just want to straight up find somebody good and pay them and tell them exactly what I want. But that's my thing, is I don't always know exactly what I want. I kind of want to see some other people's ideas. I love hearing other people's opinions and seeing what the creative juices of like minds and just different individuals can pump out and really produce as far as art goes. You know what I mean? But yeah, so Josh did a great job on that logo. I love the purple. Purple's my favorite color. It's kind of my thing. But we are trying to look for something a little more simple and a little simpler and more permanent that we can kind of stick on business cards, stick on the website.
Yeah, even if you pull out the HB in some kind of way, that sounds great, man. But yeah, definitely, it's good to have friends that have that talent. Way to go, Josh Parks. But and you have so much you can do with this Hinman Booking. All you need is organization. Now, something has happened in the last 4 years. Is you have found love? Is your mate in this endeavor with you as well? How is she feeling about you working even more, Ryan Hinman?
She's actually very excited about it. She wants to take part in it with me. She's included on the administration on the Facebook page. And so as we get inquiries, we get messages, she's reading them and she's keeping up with how I respond, and she's learning about the way I do things so that she can potentially help me in the future with responses and stuff. She's also the one that is mainly interested in doing the social media management and advertisement, for other people. And so if we start doing that, that's probably going to be something I put on her plate. But I don't want to put it on her plate completely, because she can also get busy. She's also got a full-time job. She works with kiddos at a preschool. She's amazing at that. And, we actually met and started dating over 7 years ago. And just recently, earlier this year, I know a lot of you watchers are probably going to judge me for this. Yes, I took 7 years to propose. But you know what? I knew for sure that my first one is going to be the last one. So y'all can take your opinion somewhere else.
You got that right. And it looks like you have a very good teammate.
Yes.
in her, and that's fantastic. If she's going to take over the social media part of it, and you handle the business side of it, this show business, it's a hustle. All right, if you're working by yourself, there's only so far you can do things on your own. You need a team. You need somebody to help you. Even Ryan Hinman could use a few more members. And I'm sure as time progresses, you're going to add the right amount of members as needed to help you grow Hinman Booking. And if you have somebody that needs a little more attention, you're going to offer that much more attention. But it's amazing. It used to be the agents would get 10%. 10%. That was right. That was right off the bat. So you negotiating the price with the venue, with the bride, with the groom, with the guest of honor, with the coordinator. That is an amazing thing, that a service that you're providing for the entertainers. And I'm going to keep saying entertainers, because it's not just musicians. I've already made you step up one higher. Okay, because there's going to be a balloon artist that's going to be coming at you, a fire walker that needs a little bit more booking. So they're going to be coming at Hinman Booking. It's not just going to be the guy that's tired of busking on the corner with his hat, playing his guitar or his violin. It's going to be somebody who Hawaiian dancers, man. In fact, shoot. I just got asked the other day, do you know a Hawaiian band, possibly with some dancers? No, I don't. So, Ryan Hinman, if you could send one my way, I'll send it to the proper avenue. It's up in Fairfield Bay over at the Cool Pool Sports Grill. If there's a Hawaiian band listening that wants to go, it's possible you may get a gig real soon.
It's open.
What's that?
I said the performance, the opportunity is open for you, but for that Hawaiian band. If I find one, I will send them your way immediately.
Oh no, man! I just realized that people ask me all the time for different types of bands. Yeah, I DJ. I keep doing it, and when I think, am I getting too old for this? I do a kid party. It goes just fine. I'll do another wedding. I was at the governor's mansion last Saturday night. What?
I saw that.
Partying with Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And, of course, Jeff and his Sarah. It was Jeff and Sarah's wedding, and it was so good. The governor's mansion, what a party room. I want to do parties there all the time. And you mentioned the Kings, the Ford Theater, the Brick Room. What a venue, man. I really, really enjoy it. The last thing I did there was a wedding. But before that, I did a show called Conway's Got Talent. I provided the sound, and I did help with the MC work. This is probably going on 6-7 years ago, where we did a Conway's Got Talent. So I'm kind of excited that you're going to be bringing an event, a festival to Conway, Arkansas. I'm pretty good acquaintances with Cliff and Susan down in Little Rock, and they do the Yadaloo every year. And that's, it's not as big as Badaloo or whatever, Badaroo, or as big as some of the events in Texas or South Florida even, but it's gaining traction. If you book them, they will come. Just like I learned in Wayne's World 2. If you book them, they will come. Maybe Aerosmith will show up, but Tina Kasi Band, I imagine, if you book them, they're going to show up to this event. I mean, is there a time schedule? Are you thinking? Do you have a place in your head? Do you have a timeline on when you want this event? Do you have a name for the event yet in your head? I mean, if you want to divulge it, you can. If not, keep it in your head. But yes or no, do you have a timeline on when you want to do this festival?
I've got a yes on some of that, and other things not so much just yet. Again, it's still kind of in the inception phase. It's still cooking in the oven, and so I haven't. I'm still rolling with the ideas before I even approach an event coordinator about this to start putting it together. But it's going to take about a year's worth of planning to get it to get it going. And so obviously it wouldn't be until probably this time next year at the earliest. I'm kind of thinking more October, when it's nice and cool, when people actually want to be outdoors. Everybody says they love summer and they want to do stuff during the summer. No, you don't. No, you don't. It is way too hot. It is Arkansas. It is humid. And you want to go out to stuff like Toadsuck Days and music festivals that are taking place in July and August, but you get there and you complain about it. And I don't blame you for complaining about it. I blame you for going and saying that you wanted to do it at that time of year. No, summer is not fun in Arkansas. It's way too hot. I want to do something in the fall when it's cooler, the weather's actually nice, and people want to go outside. And I mean, we have had some nice weather here in the last couple of weeks, but it's central Arkansas. You never know what you're going to get when you're going to get it. And so it could be 70 degrees today and 90 tomorrow. You just don't know. But in October or the fall months like that, you're going to be a little more consistent on the temperature. Maybe it's a little cooler and you have to bring a jacket. That's not near as bad as just sweating your noggin off. So that's really what I'm thinking as far as timeline. Possibly next October sometime at the earliest. It just depends on what all is going to go into planning it. We would need vendors, we would need food trucks, we would need porta potties, that sort of thing. We would need permits from the city, depending on where we're going to do it. Because I would like to do it probably around downtown Conway. I think that would be neat. Because how are you going to call it a Conway Music Festival? Which that's not the name. It's just, what I want it to be. I mean, it could be the name, but I think that's really basic. I think we could come up with something better. Maybe you and I can get together and cook up something on that day.
Yeah, Woodstock wasn't in Woodstock. It was at Yasker's farm, not even in Woodstock. So, yeah, it does have to be in some proximity to Conway, Arkansas, but doesn't necessarily have to be in Conway, Arkansas if the venues don't present themselves. But you did mention something else in that, having the experience that you have in this area you can let people know, you don't want to do it at that time in that location because chances are the weather is going to be formidable. One of the hottest weddings that I ever did was in an unair conditioned barn at the top of Pinnacle Mountain in August. And I was like, this is terrible. All my guests went outside. They could still hear the music and I could still see them through the door. But all I had was Grandpa Henry and any of the grandchildren that he was dragging in to dance with him. And everybody else was outside because it was so hot. So, yes, trust Ryan Hinman and trust Hinman Booking, to get you in the right venue, the right time, in the right place, in the right, with the right equipment, you have to have the right stuff. And I think you got the right stuff, man. Just talking to you over the past 47 minutes is letting me know that you got the experience, you got the skills to pay the bills. I know I'm starting to talk like a DJ. You got the skills to pay the bills. Yes, from the north to the south, you got the mouth. Oh, from the east to the west, you are the best. Ryan Hinman, man, I can see this. It's just going to be taken off. And not just because of you. You also have your lovely lady. She's been with you for 7 years, okay? Yeah, you popped the question now, but it looks like she's in it for the long haul. And you got a partner there. It's nice to have a partner that'll help you in your endeavor. Yes, you both have other interests, other jobs to keep keep the lights on. All right. I know there's a lot of musicians that have a day job. That's their insurance job. It pays them enough to keep the lights on. But you're going to help them to get that extra cheese, to get their dreams come into the fruition. And you're going to help them to get to that next level. Man, that's all we need to be doing. That's why I got into radio, man, is to help people, help my community out. Oh, how do I help the community? Am I smart in this? No, I can talk. I can talk to somebody and help them get the word out. So Ryan Hinman Booking, I'm stoked, man. I'm stoked. How long you been? How long have you really been doing this?
What's that?
How long have you really been putting forth the endeavor to do Hinman Booking? Just a few months?
Yeah, just a few months. Actually, the LLC was officially formed with the state of Arkansas. I think the date was April 19th. It was mid-April when I officially had my LLC, but I didn't even publicize it. I didn't make it public on Facebook or any social media until 2 or 3 weeks after that. And it was actually the same, about the same time that I met Cliff and Susan at King's Music. Wonderful people, by the way. If for whatever reason you haven't heard of Cliff and Susan, please go look them up. Do yourself that service. Look them up on social media. Check them out. They're wonderful people, amazing musicians. And if you are an endeavoring musician and you want some kind of help in any kind of way, you want to know how you need to get ready for performances, they have an entire school for that, and they will help you get there. And so big shout out to them because they did so much for me. The night that I met them, she asked me, Susan did, to just take some photos. She was way too kind and in the way she asked me. And so I got a little over 100 photos and sent them to her. They did me the huge service of posting them and tagging my brand new Facebook page that I had just made that day and had Josh Parks make the graphics for me that day. They tagged my business Facebook page in it, and that was a huge boon. I started getting inquiries. I started getting followers left and right just because of their Facebook posts, because of the love that they showed me. And I told her, don't worry about paying me for the pictures. You tagging me in that post was payment enough. That was huge. So yeah, again, big shout out to Cliff and Susan. If you are an endeavoring musician and you want to know how to better your performances or how to get performances outside of Hinman Booking, of course, then yeah, hit them up. If you are looking for shows, Hinman Booking would be more than happy to help. Now, if you are just starting out, you mentioned this earlier, there's kind of this industry standard. Typically, people are looking for $100 a head, $100 a person in your band. If you're solo, then you're looking for $100 to play for an hour or 2 hours. Beyond 2 hours, I would probably try to ask for more. But what people really kind of hurt themselves the most in is that after you start getting your name out there, you start realizing, oh, hey, these people are willing to pay me more. And so if they're willing to pay me more and they're willing to pay me more, now we're not only worth $500 as a band of 5 members, now we're worth $800 because people are starting to pay us $800. We can ask for $800 and we get the $800. Now we're worth the $800. So it really isn't about how good you are, because I've seen a lot of amazing closeted musicians. Nobody knows who they are, and they could try and go and book a gig at the hall tomorrow and they won't get in because nobody knows who they are. Mm-hmm. You have to have a reputation, and your reputation is going to help venues and event coordinators, other people, gauge your worth and how much they're willing to pay you. If they haven't heard of you, if they go to Facebook and Instagram and they see that you don't have any followers, they're not going to be willing to pay you what you want to get paid if it's more than that industry standard starting point, which is about $100 a head.
Well, that's one more added value of being with Hinman Booking is people trust and have faith in you and your discretion. So if you recommend somebody, it's going to give them that much more point percentage. Okay, so even if the venue has never heard of Jim Joe Bob and his All Jug Band, if Ryan Hinman says that Jim Joe Bob and his All Jug Band is good for that event and for that amount of time, that venue just might hire Jim Joe Bob and his All Jug Band. All right, shout out to Jim Joe Bob. Woohoo!
Jim Joe Bob, yeah.
All right, my man. Hey, dude, we have covered it. I think people have an idea of Ryan Hinman, where you were and where you're heading. Well, are you still playing? I guess you're still playing with Tina Kasi. Are you gigging regularly at a regular spot, or is it all over Central Arkansas and maybe even south to Tejas?
It has been all over Arkansas. We performed at the International Blues Challenge in Memphis, Tennessee, earlier this year in January. And we are actually endeavoring to go back again. So we will be doing the preliminaries next month for our Blues Society, which is the Port City Blues Society. You guys go give them a follow, check them out. There's a lot of great bands that are with the Port City Blues Society, which I'm also a member of. Shout out to them. A lot of great people, love them. And so hopefully we make it past the preliminary round once again, and they will sponsor us to go to the IBC, again, the International Blues Challenge in Memphis again next January. So that's what we're looking forward to. And yeah, just all over the place. We've got a lot of dates that are lined up. We're constantly booking more. Y'all just go follow Tina Cossey Band on Facebook. Go check out TinaCosseyBand.com. I'm very proud to be the bass player for the Tina Cossey Band. Tina is an amazing person. Josh Parks is an amazing person. Our drummer Darius is fantastic. Jared Admire on guitar. I mean, it's just we're kicking it, man. We're kicking it hard, and we're ready to hit the road running. That being said, you know, if you want to get to that same point, if you think you've got what it takes, then please hit me up. If there's anything we haven't covered in this podcast today, reach out to me on Facebook, reach out to me by email, which is again hinmanbooking@gmail.com. Eventually, very soon, hopefully I will have my website up and you will be able to send emails to info@hinmanbooking.com. Please don't send them there yet. I do believe the email is functioning, but we're not using it yet. And so just keep sending your inquiries to hinmanbooking@gmail.com. And I can provide you my phone number, my personal phone number from there. I don't want to publicize that out because that is for people that I have vetted. So if I know that you're serious and you want to do some business, then you can definitely have my phone number and we can get to working together. I'll just need a little bit of information. I'll send you what I call the artist package. There's a few files in there. You just need to fill out a questionnaire, agree to the artist booking agreement, and I will need to get a W-9 form from any artists that are wanting to book with me because we do comply with state and federal tax regulations.
Hey, speaking of, would you recommend that any artist become an LLC or get incorporated or of some kind? Or do you think that the artist without a corporation or LLC is still viable?
So I think it's a great idea to go and talk to a certified accountant. You know, go talk to your tax accountant about that and ask them what they think is best for you. I'm not exactly sure how that works out best for the artist. I do know that we in the Tina Cossey Band are, or Tina herself is working on the LLC. And so I do know that is a good idea. I don't know if it's the best idea for everyone that's starting out. But if you are receiving payment from Hinman Booking for a 1099 and say you're the band leader and you are taking it all yourself and then you're dispersing that to your band, well, now that makes you liable for paying the taxes on the total, including everything that you paid out to your band. And so you need to talk to a certified tax representative to figure out the best way for you to divvy up those funds and the payment to your band members. If you're taking it all yourself, if you're a solo artist, you can do it as a sole proprietor. I don't see any problem with that. But you just do need to know that you will be held liable for income that you receive from Hinman Booking by the IRS. And so, again, you know, seek certified representation on your taxes.
Ryan Hinman, you're a real smart man. You're a real nice man. You've already given shout outs to so many people, so I'm not going to make you shout out anybody. You've already given bumps to so many people on your podcast. The podcast you're supposed to be talking about your business. You're like, oh, yeah, that guy's nice. Oh, make sure you check out that guy. That lady's nice. Oh, she won. You know, you're really, I can tell your heart is open. Your heart is into this, wanting people to succeed. And if you can make a couple dollars too, hey, it's just another avenue. It's just another way for you to keep doing the thing you love, playing for the people, and then teaching people how to play for the people. You know, how to get more gigs, man, because it's a hustle if you're doing it by yourself. And Ryan Hinman Booking, you're going to be the team that people need to get to the next level. All right, my man, let's shut this thing down. I was finishing off with last words for the people. This could be words to live by, something you heard a long time ago, a mantra you wake up with every morning, or just whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. Ryan Hinman Booking, give the last words for the people.
I appreciate it, Dan. Well, it's like you said, just whatever pops into my head is what's coming out. Like you said earlier, you can't do anything by yourself. Nobody really can. I got to where I am with the help of other people who have supported me, given me advice. KeysDAN, the man himself, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I really hope that we reached a lot of people today, and a lot of people had some questions answered about Hinman Booking and what kind of services we offer, and consider to use us in the future so that we can really help grow our music community and cultivate this environment of safe, enjoyable music, art, entertainment all around, and not only Arkansas, but our community at large, and our country and our world that we live in, and make the world a better place.
Well, there you have it, party people. Ryan Hinman, what a cool dude, and a smart dude, and an open-hearted dude. Man, the guy's got love for this business we call show, and he wants to help people get to the next level. Yeah, take a little off the top, a little bit, and then give you, you know, the thing about having an agent, when I had an agent, I didn't make as much per show, but I had a heck of a lot more shows, and they were venues that were well suited to having an event. You know, sometimes you go to house parties, and if they want to have stuff in the house, you don't have ramps, you don't have elevators to get to the floors that they want to get to. You know, you got to huff your stuff upstairs, even if it's only about 2 or 3 or 7 stairs up in the front of the house. Still, you got to huff up those stairs. So if you go to certain venues that Ryan Hinman Booking can put together for you, you'll have, you know, the right equipment. Sometimes I go to venues and I don't know what equipment to bring, especially if it's the first time I've ever been to that venue. I don't know if I need to bring my whole PA system, or I plug and play into their venue system. You know, is it adequate? Does it sound good? Even if they do provide a system, does it sound good? Am I going to be embarrassed if I'm playing my music through a cheap system? No. I want to make sure that I have the right equipment. It sounds professional. Got the right type of entertainment for that show. Maybe not every show needs a DJ. Bite your tongue. Every show should have a DJ. No, I'm kidding. A live music, you know, if you need a solo guitarist or a violinist or an accordion or a guy playing a 5-gallon bucket in the corner. If that's what you want, that's what you get. Okay? And Ryan Hinman's going to set you up with the best 5-gallon bucket player that money can buy. All right. So I look forward to hearing more about Ryan Hinman and Hinman Booking. I see it going far. You know, right now he's smart. He's smart. He's starting, you know, with musicians. He knows he going with what he knows. But I've already pushed him. I pushed him farther. He's going to have jugglers and comedians and balloon makers and all kinds of entertainers. He'll set up book signings for you, authors. All right. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Thank you, Ryan Hinman, for coming back on the program and updating us with what's going on with you and Hinman Booking. So stoked. All the links are in the show notes below, so check those out. Click them and follow him. Maybe you don't need an event coordinated right now. Maybe you don't need an entertainer right now, but save that link because you might need one in the future. The people need to be entertained. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Now, if you, yes, you, my loyal listener, if you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email KeysDAN@AOL.com. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.